गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmadi Guru Pad Padma Nitila Preshta Jagat Guru Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Tirandi Swami Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here to accept my humble obeisances. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, Text 1. Sutavacha Samprasthite Dwarakayam Jishno Bandhuridrukshaya Nyatum cha punya shlokasya Krishnasya cha vicheshtitam. Sutavacha, Sri Suta Goswami said, Samprasthite, having gone to Dwarakayam, the city of Dwarka, Jishno, Arjuna, Bandhav, friends and relatives, Didrukshaya, for meeting them, Nyatum, to know, Cha, also, Punya Shlokasya, of one whose glories are sung by Vedic hymns, Krishnasya, of Lord Krishna, Cha, and Vicheshtitam, further programs of work. Shri Suta Goswami said, Arjun went to Dwarka to see Lord Shri Krishna and other friends, and also to learn from the Lord of his next activities. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord descended on earth for the protection of the faithful and annihilation of the impious. So after the battle of Kurukshetra and establishment of Maharaj Yudhishthir, the mission of the Lord was complete. The Pandavas, especially Sri Arjuna, were eternal companions of the Lord, and therefore Arjun went to Dwarka to hear from the Lord of his next program of work. Text 2. Vyatita katichin masas tadanaya tato Arjuna dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. Vyatita, after passing, katichit, a few, masa, months, tada, at that time, na ayat, did not return, tataha, from there, Arjuna, Arjun, dadarsha, observed, ghora, fearful, rupani, appearance, nimittani, various causes, Kuru Udvaha, Maharaj Yudhishthir. After a few months passed and Arjun did not return, Maharaj Yudhishthir then began to observe some inauspicious omens, which were fearful in themselves. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is ad infinitum, more powerful than the most powerful sun of our experience. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated by him within his one breathing period. In the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy, and only due to the sun can we have the necessities of life. Therefore, during the personal presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display because of the Lord's presence, just as there is a full flood of light in the presence of the glowing sun. Maharaj Yudhishthir observed some discrepancies in his kingdom, and therefore he became very anxious about Arjuna, who was long absent, and there was also no news about Dwarka's well-being. He suspected the disappearance of Lord Krishna, otherwise there would have been no possibility of fearful omens. Text 3. Kalasya jagatim raudram viparyastartu dharmina papiya sindrunam vartam krodalobhandrutatmanam. Kalasya jagatim raudram viparyas viparyastartu dharminam papiyasindranam bhatam krodalobhanrutatmanam. Kalasya of eternal time, cha also, gatim, direction, raudran, fearful, viparyasta, reversed, rutu, seasonal, dharminaha, regularities, papiyasim, sinful, nrunam, of the human being, vartam, means of livelihood, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, andruta, falsehood, atmanam, of the people. He saw that the direction of eternal time had changed, and this was very fearful. There were disruptions in the seasonal regularities, and the people in general had become very greedy, angry, and deceitful. And he saw that they were adopting foul means of livelihood. When civilization is disconnected from the loving relation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, symptoms like changes of seasonal regulations, foul means of livelihood, greed, anger, and fraudulence become rampant. The change of seasonal regulations refers to one's season's atmosphere becoming manifest in other seasons. For example, the rainy seasons being transferred to the autumn, or the fructification of fruits and flowers from one season in another season. A godless man is invariably greedy, angry, and fraudulent. Such a man can earn his livelihood by any means, black or white. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, all the above symptoms were conspicuous by their absence. But Maharaj Yudhishthira was astonished to experience even a slight change in the godly atmosphere of his kingdom, and at once he suspected the disappearance of the Lord. Foul means of livelihood implies deviation from one's occupational duty. There are prescribed duties for everyone, such as the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. But anyone who deviates from his prescribed duty and declares another duty to be his own is following a foul and improper duty. A man becomes too greedy for wealth and power when he has no higher objective in life, and when he thinks that this earthly life of a few years is all in all. Ignorance is the cause of all these anomalies in human society. And to remove this ignorance, especially in this age of degradation, the powerful sun is there to distribute light in the shape of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 4. Jimma prayam vyavahurtam shathamishram cha saurudam pitrumatru srud bhratrud dampatinam cha kalkanam. Jimma prayam, cheating. Vyavahurtam, in all ordinary transactions. Shathya, duplicity. Mishram, adulterating. Cha, and. Saurudam, regarding friendly well-wishers. Pitru, father. Matru, regarding the mother. Surut, well-wishers. Bhratru, one's own brother. Dampatina, regarding husband and wife. Cha, also. Kalkanam, mutual quarrel. All ordinary transactions and dealings became polluted with cheating, even between friends. In familial affairs, there was always misunderstanding between fathers, mothers, and sons, between well-wishers and between brothers. Even between husband and wife, there was always strain and quarrel. A conditioned living being is endowed with 4 principles of malpractice, namely errors, insanity, inability, and cheating. These are signs of imperfection, and out of the 4, the propensity to cheat others is most prominent. And this cheating practice is there in the conditioned souls, because the conditioned souls are primarily in the material world, imbued with an unnatural desire to lord it over the material world. A living being in his pure state is not conditioned by the laws, because in his pure state he is conscious that the living being is eternally subservient to the Supreme Being, and thus it is always good for him to remain subservient instead of falsely trying to lord it over the property of the Supreme Lord. In the conditioned state, the living being is not satisfied, even if he actually becomes the lord of all that he surveys, which he never becomes. And therefore he becomes a victim of all kinds of cheating, even with his nearest and most intimate relations. In such an unsatisfactory state of affairs, there is no harmony, even between father and sons, or between husband and wife. But all these contending difficulties can be mitigated by one process, and that is the devotional service of the Lord. The world of hypocrisy can be checked only by counteraction through devotional service to the Lord and nothing else. Maharaj Yudhishthir, having observed the disparities, conjunctured the disappearance of the Lord from the earth. Text 5. Nimittani atyavishtani kale tvanugate nrunam lobhadi adharma prakritim drushto vachanujam drupa nimittanyatirishtani kale tvanugate nrunam lobhadya dharma prakritim drushto vachanujam drupa nimittani atyarishtani kale tu anugate nrunam lobhadi adharma prakritim društva vachanujam nrupa. Nimittani, causes, ati, very serious, arishtani, bad omens, kale, in course of time, tu, but, anugate, passing away, nranam, of humanity at large, lobha adi, such as greed, adharma, irreligious, prakritim, habits, društva, having observed, uvacha, said, anujam, younger brother, nrupa, the king. In course of time, it came to pass that people in general became accustomed to greed, anger, pride, etc. Maharaj Yudhishthir, observing all these omens, spoke to his younger brother. Such a pious king as Maharaj Yudhishthir at once became perturbed when there were such inhuman symptoms as greed, anger, irreligiosity and hypocrisy rampant in society. It appears from this statement that all these symptoms of degraded society were unknown to the people of the time, and it was astonishing for them to have experienced them with the advent of the Kali Yuga, or the age of quarrel. Text 6. Yudhishthira Vacha Sampreshito Dwarakayam Jishnur Bandhu Didrukshaya Jnatum cha punya shlokasya Krishnasya cha visheshtitam. Yudhishthira Vacha, Maharaj Yudhishthira said, Sampreshitaha has gone to Dwarkayam. Dwarka, Jishnu, Arjun, Bandhu, friends. Didrukshaya, for the sake of meeting. Jnatum, to know. Cha, also. Punya Shlokasya, of the personality of Godhead. Krishnasya, of Lord Shri Krishna. Cha, and. Vicheshtitam, program of work. Maharaj Yudhishthira said to his younger brother Bhimsen, I sent Arjuna to Dwarka to meet his friends and to learn from the personality of Godhead Krishna of his program of work. Text 7. Gata saptadhuna masa Bhimasena tavanuja Nayati kasya vahetur naham vederamanjasa. Gata saptadhuna masa bhimasena tavanuja nayati kasya vaheto naham vederamanjasa. Gata has gone, sapta 7, adhuna to date, masaha months, Bhimasen, O Bhimsen, Tava your Anujaha, younger brother, Na does not, Ayati come back, Kasya for what, Va or, Heto reason, Na not, Aham I, Veda no, Idam this, Anjasa factually. Since he departed, 7 months have passed, and yet he has not returned. I do not know factually how things are going there. Texted. Apadevarshidadishta, apidevarshidadishta, sakalo ayamupasthita, yadatmano angam akridam, Bhagavan utsikrushashti. Api devarshina adishta sahakalayam upasthita yada atmanahangam akridam bhagavan utsishpushati. Api devarshina sakaloyam upasthita yadatmano angam akridam bhagwan ussiskushyati. Api devarshina sakaloyam upasthita yadatmano angam akridam bhagwan ussiskushyati. As we have discussed, Api, whether Devarshina, by the demigod saint Narada, Adishta, instructed, Sa, that, Kala, eternal time, I am this, Upasthita, arrived, Yada, when, Atmana, of his own self, Angam, plenary portion, Akridam, manifestation, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Ussi Skrushati, is going to quit. Is he going to quit his earthly pastimes, as Devarshina indicated? Has that time already arrived? As we have discussed many times, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, has many plenary expansions, and each and every one of them, although equally powerful, executes different functions. In Bhagavad Gita, there are different statements by the Lord, and each of these statements is meant for different plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions. For example, Shri Krishna, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharat and a predominant rise of religion, at that time I descend myself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. Bhagavad Gita 4.7. To deliver the faithful, to annihilate the miscreants, and also to re-establish the principles of occupational duty, I appear in every age. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. If I should cease to work, then all humanity would be misdirected. I would also be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all sentient beings. Whatever action a great man performs, common men will follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. All the above statements by the Lord apply to different plenary portions of the Lord, namely his expansions, such as Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Niruddha and Narayan. These are all he himself in different transcendental expansions, and still the Lord as Sri Krishna functions in a different sphere of transcendental exchange with different grades of devotees. And yet Lord Krishna, as he appears once every 24 hours of Brahma's life, Brahma's time, or after a lapse of 8,640,000,000 solar years, in each and every universe, and all his transcendental pastimes are displayed in each and every universe in a routine spool. But in that routine spool, the functions of Lord Krishna, Lord Vasudeva, etc. are complex problems for the layman. There is no difference between the Lord's self and the Lord's transcendental body. The expansions execute different activities. When the Lord, however, appears in his person as Lord Sri Krishna, his other plenary portions also join in him by his inconceivable potency called Yoga Maya. And thus, the Lord Krishna of Vrindavan is different from the Lord Krishna of Mathura or the Lord Krishna of Dwarka. The Virat Purusha, the Virat Rupa of Lord Krishna is also different from him by its inconceivable potency. The Virat Rupa exhibited on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is the material conception of his form. Therefore, it should be understood that when Lord Krishna was apparently killed by the bow and arrow of the hunter, the Lord left his so-called material body in the material world. The Lord is Kaivalya. And for him, there is no difference between the matter and spirit, because everything is created from him. Therefore, his quitting one sort of body or accepting another body does not mean that he is like an ordinary living being. All such activities are simultaneously one and different by inconceivable potency. When Maharaj Yudhishthira was lamenting the possibility of his disappearance, it was just in pursuance of a custom of lamenting the disappearance of a great friend. But fact is, the Lord never quits his transcendental body, as is misconceived by less intelligent persons. Such less intelligent persons have been condemned by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, and they are known as Mudas. Thus, the Lord left his body means that he left again his plenary portions in the respective dhamas, transcendental abodes, and he left his Virat Rupa in the material world. Text 9. Yasmanna sampado rajyam dara prana kulam praja asan sapatna vijayo lokashayanugrahat Yasmanna sampado rajyam dara prana kulam praja asan sapatna vijayo lokashayanugrahat. Yasmat, from whom, na, our, sampada, opulence, rajyam, kingdom, dara, good wives, pradaha, existence of life, kulam, dynasty, praja, subjects, asan, have become possible, sapatna, competitors, vijaya, conquering, lokaha, future accommodation in high planets, cha, and jat, by whose anugraha, by the mercy of. From him only all our kingly opulence, good wives, lives, progeny, control over our subjects, victory over our enemies, and further accommodations in higher planets have been possible. All this is due to his causeless mercy upon us. Material prosperity consists of a good wife, good home, sufficient land, good children, aristocratic family relations, victory over competitors, and by pious work, attainment of accommodations in the higher celestial planets for better facilities of material amenities. These facilities are earned not only by one's hard manual labor or by unfair means, but by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Prosperity earned by one's personal endeavor also depends on the mercy of the Lord. Personal labor must be there in addition to the Lord's benediction. But without the Lord's benediction, no one is successful simply by personal labor. The modernized man of Kali Yuga believes in personal endeavor and denies the benediction of the Supreme Lord. Even a great sannyasi of India delivered speeches in Chicago protesting the benedictions of the Supreme Lord. But as far as Vedic Shastras are concerned, as we find in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, the ultimate sanction for all success rests in the hands of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Yudhishthira admits this truth in his personal success, and it behooves one to follow in the footsteps of a great king and devotee of the Lord to make life a full success. If one could achieve success without the sanction of the Lord, then no medical practitioner would fail to cure a patient. Despite the most advanced treatment of a suffering patient by the up-to-date medical practitioner, there is death. And even in the most hopeless case, without medical treatment, a patient is cured astonishingly. Therefore, the conclusion is that God's sanction is the immediate cause for all happiness. Therefore, the conclusion is that God's sanction is the immediate cause for all happenings, good or bad. Any successful man should feel grateful to the Lord for all he has achieved. Text 10. Pashyotpatan vyaghra divyan bhauman sadaihikan darunan shamsato adurat bhayam no buddhi mohanam. Pashyotpatan narah vyaghra divyan bhauman sadaihikan darunan shamsato adurat bhayam no buddhi mohanam. Pashyotpatan nara vyaghra divyan bhauman sadaihikan darunan shamsato adurat bhayam no buddhi mohanam. Pashya utpatan nara vyaghra Pashyotpatan nara vyaghra divyan bhauman sadaihikan darunan shamsatadurat bhayam naha buddhi mohanam. Pashya, just see, utpatan, disturbances, nara vyaghra, O man of tiger-like strength, divyan, happenings in the sky or by planetary influence, bhauman, happenings on the earth, sadaihikan, happenings of the body and the mind, darunan, awfully dangerous, shamsataha, indicating, adurat, in the near future, bhayam, danger, naha, our, buddhi, intelligence, mohanam, deluding. Just see a man with a tiger's strength, how many miseries due to celestial influences, earthly reactions and bodily pains, all very dangerous in themselves, are foreboding danger in the near future by deluding our intelligence. Material advancement of civilization means advancement of the reactions of the threefold miseries due to celestial influence, earthly reactions and bodily or mental pains. By the celestial influence of the stars, there are many calamities like excessive heat, cold, rains and no rains. Rains or no rains. And the after effects are famine, disease and epidemic. The aggregate result is agony of the body and the mind. Man-made material science cannot do anything to counteract these threefold miseries. They are all punishments from the superior energy of Maya under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. The Asuras, however, who do not believe in the existence of God, make their own plans to counteract all these threefold miseries, and so they meet with failures every time. The Bhagavad Gita 7.14 clearly states that the reaction of material energy is never to be conquered because of the binding effects of the three modes. They can simply be overcome by one who surrenders fully in devotion unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Text 11. Urvakshi bahavo mayam spuranti angah puna puna veputashapi hrudaye aradasyanti vipriyam. Urvakshi bahavo mayam spuranti angah puna puna veputashapi hrudaye आरादास्यन्ति विप्रियम् उर्वाक्षी बाहवामह्यम् स्फुरन्ति अङ्गः पुनः पुनः वेपतु चापि हृदये आरादास्यन्ति विप्रियम्. Uru, thighs, Akshi, eyes, Bahava, the arms, Mahyam, in my, Sfuranti, quivering, Anga, left side of the body, Puna Puna, again and again, Vepatuhu, palpitations, Cha also, Api, certainly, Hriday, in the heart, Arad, due to fear, Dasyanti, indicating, Vipriyam, undesirables. The left side of my body, my thighs, arms and eyes are all quivering again and again. I am having heart palpitations due to fear. All this indicates undesirable happenings. Material existence is full of undesirables. Things we do not want are forced upon us by some superior energy, and we do not see that these undesirables are under the grip of the three modes of material nature. When a man's eyes, arms and thighs all quiver constantly, one must know that something is going to happen which is undesirable. These undesirables are compared to fire in a forest. No one goes into the forest to set fires, but fires automatically take place in the forest, creating inconceivable calamities for the living beings of the forest. Such a fire cannot be extinguished by any human efforts. The fire can be extinguished only by the mercy of the Lord, who sends clouds to pour water on the forest. Similarly, undesirable happenings in life cannot be checked by any number of plans. Such miseries can be removed only by the mercy of the Lord, who sends His bona fide representatives to enlighten human beings and thus save them from all calamities. Text 12. Shivaishodyantam adityam avirauti analanana mamanga saramyoyam avirevereti aviruva. Shiva esha udyantam adityam avirauti anala ananamamanga sarameyahayam avirevati aviruvat. Shiva, Japal, Esha, this, Udyantam, rising, Adityam, unto the sun, Avi, towards, Rauti, crying, Anal of fire, Anana, face, Mam, unto me, O Bhima, Saramaya, dog, Ayam, this, Avirevati, barks towards, Aviruvat, without fear. Just see, O Bhima, how the she-jackal cries at the rising sun and vomits fire, and how the dog barks at me fearlessly. These are some bad omens indicating something undesirable in the near future. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhucha pritanam pavane vaishnavibhyo.